you making a toast. Y'all are all ears when you hear what I grows, but I'm passing my peers that you doing the most for, and you wondering why now you started to choke. I think I need a tea time. Too shallow, need a deep dive. Coming for the whole damn beehive. I don't need no help. You hate me, gotta sleep tight. Can't slow down on a beeline. Y'all songs hit like a B-side. I don't need no help. Top of the game like it's the first, and an ego bigger than my head. It's money tall like Andy Pettit. Never had a label, you could label me as independent. If I want it, I'ma get it. Jewish bugger, holla bread it. Assalamu alaikum, I don't beef no more than get it twisted. If you mess with me, you gon' regret it. I ain't superstitious, I just see these bitches where your head is. And I'm still getting mad love like you're playing tennis. Heard you wanna see teeth, I ain't spilling it. Paul Giamatti with blue faces to billions. Rap game chameleons. We your favorite pop punk band, favorite drunk band, when we killing them. It's a fact, we go all out, boy. These other rappers are relevant, they should fall out, boy. Y'all stuff like that, I hit the gas quick. I think I need a tea time. Too shallow, need a deep dive. Coming for the whole damn beehive. I don't need no help. You hate me, I'ma sleep tight. Can't slow down on a beeline. My songs hit like a B-side. I don't need no help. I think I need a tea time. Too shallow, need a deep dive. Coming for the whole damn beehive. I don't need no help. You hate me, I'ma sleep tight. Can't slow down on a beeline. Your songs hit like a B-side. I don't need no help. I think I need a tea time. Too shallow, need a deep dive. Coming for the whole damn beehive. I don't need no help. You hate me, I'ma sleep tight. Can't slow down on a beeline. Your songs hit like a B-side. I don't need no help. I think I need a tea time. Your song's done, is a peace sign. That's all I really got, to be honest. Deuces. That's fire.
With me today, we're gonna have a good time. You've convinced me. I'm ready to switch my account. Oh my gosh. Specific answer. They're learning quick. Can we Google it? Whatever. Okay. He's a quick study.
There's so many words I want to say. Be careful. It is a love story.
You bet it is.
Fair.
I wasn't done.
Ask the questions that you think are silly. Thank you for joining. Bye.
question. All right, let's do it emphatically. Yellow, jacket, Super Green. 100% from the start. Oh, what is this? Let me go.
If I hit another wine and dine, you better make mine sign. I'd show up, put me on, throw it through a eyes, and then talk about me like the next big thing. And all bow down while you pull them strings. Dress so fresh when the shots don't sink, yo. Let me make things perfectly clear. If the industry burned, I would still be here. Y'all ain't never make me, you just making it weird. Cause I'm trying to play ball, but I don't get cheers. Just cheers when you making a toast. Y'all are all ears when you hear what I grows. But I'm passing my peers that you doing the most for. And you wondering why now you started to choke. I think I need a tea time. Too shallow, need a deep dive. Coming for the whole damn beehive. I don't need no help. You hate me, gotta sleep tight. Can't slow down on the beeline. Y'all songs hit like a B-side. I don't need no help. Top of the game, like it's the first inning. Ego bigger than my head. It's money tall like Andy Pettit. Never had a label, you could label me as independent. If I want it, I'ma get it. Jewish bugger, holla bread it. Assalamu alaikum, I don't beef no more than get it twisted. If you mess with me, you gon' regret it. I ain't superstitious, I just leave these bitches where your head is. And ups to getting mad love like you're playing tennis. Cause you wanna see teeth, well, I ain't spilling it. Paul Giamatti with blue faces to billions. Rap game chameleons. We your favorite pop punk band, favorite trunk jam, and we killing them. It's a fact, we go all out, boy. These other rappers are relevant, they should fall out, boy. Y'all stuff like that, so I hit the gas quick. I think I need a tea time. Too shallow, need a deep dive. Coming for the whole damn beehive. I don't need no help. You hate me, I'm asleep tight. Can't slow down on a beeline. My songs hit like a B-side. I don't need no help. I think I need a tea time. Too shallow, need a deep dive. Coming for the whole damn beehive. I don't need no help. You hate me, I'm asleep tight. Can't slow down on a beeline. Your songs hit like a B-side. I don't need no help. I think I need a tea time. Too shallow, need a deep dive. Coming for the whole damn beehive. I don't need no help. You hate me, I'm asleep tight. Can't slow down on a beeline. Your songs hit like a B-side. I don't need no help. I think I need a tea time. Your song's done as a peace
That's all I really got, to be honest. Deuces. That's fire.
With me today, we're gonna have a good time. You've convinced me. I'm ready to switch my account. Oh my gosh! Specific answer. They're learning quick. Can we Google it? Whatever. Okay.
All business
He's a quick
assets.
study.
There's so many words I want to say. Be careful. It is a love story.
You bet it is.
Fair.
You're. I wasn't done.
Ask the questions that you think are silly. Thank you for joining. Bye.
Hanging out and enjoying the outdoors.
So come join us at the University of Wisconsin-Superior, where every day is an opportunity to learn, grow, and make your mark on the world. We can't wait to welcome you into our hive. Go Yellow Jackets!
There's nothing better than a Subway Series footlong, except when you add a new footlong sidekick, like the boss with a new footlong cookie. This might be my favorite sidekick ever. What?
Every epic footlong deserves a perfect sidekick.
Together we learn.
Together we study.
Together we research.
Together we compete.
Together we climb.
Together we perform.
Together we relax.
Together we are a community.
Together we are superior.
UWS men's basketball here on 91.3 FM KUWS and on Yellow Jacket TV, an affiliate of the UMass Sports Network. This is Matt Johnson coming to you live from Mertz Mortarelli Gymnasium here on the campus of the University of Wisconsin-Superior, where the Yellow Jacket men returning home to take on Minnesota Morris here in a UMAC conference contest here in Superior. The Yellow Jackets coming into this UMAC conference clash with the Cougars, sitting at 7-9 overall. They are 4-1 in UMAC, which ties them for first place in the conference with Northwestern. Hanging into today's action, Greg Polkowski, the Yellow Jacket head coach, is in his 8th season at the helm of the Yellow Jacket program. His record to date, 84 wins and 95 losses so far in his 7+ years on the bench for the Yellow Jackets. UWS had their 4-game winning streak snapped their last time out, coming off of a loss against Northwestern, 82-72. That game was played this past Wednesday night at the Erickson Center down in St. Paul. In that contest, the Yellow Jackets fell despite getting another big game from senior guard Reed Johnson, as the Eagles shot 53.2% from the field overall and made 11 of 22 shots from beyond the arc to post the victory. Northwestern came out especially hot and from the floor in the opening 20 minutes, knocking down 16 of 29 shots in the frame on the way to taking a 40-33 halftime lead. Early in the second half, the Yellow Jackets did cut that deficit down to 3 at 42-39 on a basket by Johnson with 18:44 remaining in regulation. But the Eagles went on to score the next 9 points and open up a 51-39 lead with 14:07 left. And from there, the Yellow Jackets unfortunately never got closer than 6 points, as the Eagles connected on 17 of 33 shots from the floor in the second 20 minutes. For the game, the Yellow Jackets made 45.1% of their shots and were led by Johnson's game-high 33 points. Johnson also made 10 of 16 shots from the field and 4 of 9 from three-point range, and 9 of his 10 free throw tries in that contest on Wednesday. Andrew Cornelius, meanwhile, for the Yellow Jackets, added 11 points on 5 of 10 shooting in the game. Meanwhile, Minnesota Morris comes into this contest sitting at 6-10 overall. They are 3-2 in the UMAC, so a full game behind the Yellow Jackets hanging in this contest here this afternoon. Paul Grove, as usual, the bench boss again, 23 years and counting for Grove on the Minnesota Morris bench as head coach. They've won their last 2 contests, including posting a 78-63 victory over Crown College on Wednesday night at Jim Grammel's court in Morris. In that contest, the Cougars rallied from a 2-point halftime deficit to down the Polars by knocking down 17 of 29 tries from the field in the second half, on the way out to outscoring Crown 44-27 after the break. In the first half of that game, Morris shot 40% from the field, allowing Crown to take a slim 36-34 edge into the intermission. But the Cougars came back in the second half, taking the lead for good on a bucket by Brian LaRoche with 14:59 remaining in regulation. That gave Morris a 44-43 advantage, and from there, the Cougars continued to pull away, taking their largest lead of the game at 78-61 on a score by Dom Aguiar with 1:26 remaining in the contest. For the game, Morris made 49.2% of their shots and had 2 players score in double figures, led by Paul Dack, who netted a game-high 26 points and 10 rebounds on 11 of 19 shooting. Aguilar, meanwhile, added 20 points while going 7 of 11 from the floor in the contest. So that sets up today's game between the Yellow Jackets and the Minnesota Morris Cougars. And as usual, with the pregame show being sponsored by National Bank of Commerce, we will take our first break of said pregame show and come back with more in just a couple of minutes, including a conversation with Yellow Jacket head coach Greg Polkowski. That's coming up right after this. This is UWS men's basketball on 91.3 FM KUWS Superior and on Yellow Jacket TV, an affiliate of the UMass Sports Network. Matt Johnson now joined by Yellow Jacket head coach Greg Polkowski. And, Coach, it's been a couple of weeks since we last chatted. I mean, the schedule's been a little bit unbalanced this year. You guys have had your home games in long stretches. You've had your road games in long stretches. You've spent a fair amount of time in the beginning of this conference season on the road as well. But pretty good returns so far. I mean, 4 out of 5 in the win column. That's a nice way to start the conference season. And it seems like you guys are starting to figure some things out here at just the right time, especially with now into the teeth of that conference schedule.
Yeah, I think, post, just into the new year here where it's been exclusively conference play. I think we maybe chatted earlier before we've had a chance to play conference games that we were able to learn a lot in November and December and still are, but it's allowed us to, kind of get some pieces in play or, in order, if you will, just whether it be rotationally, whether it just be a rhythm that you build within your team as the year goes along, which is the same for any team. And I think our guys have done a good job of that, of growing into, we always use the word flow offensively and defensively. And, not that it's going to be perfect every time around, but I think we've been the cumulative growth has been positive for us. Again, you have blips and, it's not perfect every night, but I think the overall picture is and trend has been going in a positive direction. And, not only, you look at 4 out of 5 games, but I think I'm not in every other team's or coach's situation, but I think, your practices in January and February are a part of that. And after you've been practicing since October 1 for a lot of teams, that it's hard to keep that rhythm and whether you want to call it intensity or pulse level in practice every day too. And I think our guys have done, all 22 guys have done a really good job of that. And not only has it stayed competitive, we've continued to get better, but there's been joy in it too of, our guys don't really take their foot off the gas as far as competing and getting after it every day, which is awesome and just the way we want it. So I think that has, showed its face on the court as well on game day.
I'm going to talk a little bit about a guy we haven't really touched on this much. I mean, we've talked a lot about Javon Walker over the years because he's been your leading scorer for a couple of years now.
Yep.
But a guy that's really rebounded from, I know, a year that he was not particularly happy with in his junior year, Reed Johnson. Boy, has he come on. I mean, he's had a string now with 30-point games. He's averaging over 15 a game. And, he's becoming a guy that's really reliable for you guys on the offensive end, isn't he?
Yeah, I think, kind of to maybe pair with what we just talked about, there's always been that threat from Reed. I think what would have been his sophomore year, if I'm recalling it correctly, he shot it really well. I mean, he shot it well. He's Chatfield, Minnesota's all-time leading scorer. He shot it well there, and we knew he was really a threat as a freshman. Got a little bit of action. Sophomore year, he had a great year, and maybe had some bumps along the way a little bit. Last year, I think you saw a little up and down, but you saw big games out of him. What we're seeing now. He saw some good performances early, and we worked through late November and December really as a team, and he was working. We were all working through things together, and he really came out of that non-conference schedule. Just everything, a focus, a readjustment, and honestly, him just staying persistent within himself and staying driven. He's done a great job. Everybody's happy for him. Everybody's proud of him. I'm happy for him, just personally, because that threat and talent level is always there. And not only is he shooting the ball well, but he's gotten really good. And I think you kind of started to see it a little bit last year, maybe even just in practices. But him playing off the bounce and off the dribble, and it doesn't need to just be from 3, which, that's where a lot of the attention goes is, he's making some big shots for us, but he's really become a complete player. And I think there's still a couple notches left in this last month or so for him to take, just keep going that direction. But no, we're all very happy for him. There's no doubt he's been a huge factor in impact, had a huge impact on our team over these first 5 conference games. No doubt. And, people, in this interview were bringing attention to it, and you're starting to see a little more attention from it, from our opponents too, but he's handled it just great. He's not forcing anything. And it truly is all coming very, very naturally for him.
It seems like also, I know this was something that we touched on before the first conference game of the year against North Central when you guys were here. Trying to figure out the rotation a little bit more, trying to figure out who is going to be in that solid rotation. I just want to get your thoughts on how that's been panning out, because it seems like you guys are maybe selling into a little bit more of a settled rotation, whereas you were playing a lot of guys at the beginning of the year.
Yeah, I think that ability to still play a lot of guys is there. no doubt. Honestly, it's showing its face even more. You could probably add a couple more names to that list even now that the year's gone on longer. But, there's been a group, 5 of them being seniors that have really, Andrew Cornelius, Javon, Reed, Joey, TJ, that have had a good run here these last 5 games playing together, which we've always felt that way, but it's gone, it's become reality a bit. And, even Ty and Luke, the other 2 seniors, they've been able to make contributions. And then, Andrew Beers has had some nice impact for us off the bench. Evan Bennett is, we'll call him as healthy as he's been anyways in a while. He's been able to get back in rotation. And, depending on matchup, depending on, kind of how things are going, Rocco's had, his ability. And, that's, I think I'm listing 8 to 10 guys off there. And so that's kind of been that rotation, which we have settled into. But don't get me wrong, there's still guys that are right there for the call, whether it be Hayden Quimby, whether it be Micah Young, whether it be Max Briggs, whether, I think Eddie Mittermeier's sticking his nose in there, and, and a lot of other guys, Slayton, Aiden, McDonald, the list is long. We have gotten into a groove of rotation, as you mentioned, and that has looked with that, that group of 5 starting seniors. But, I think we're able to pivot off it a little bit when needed. And that's been, it's a strength. It's something we got to kind of be really delicate with and still keep that rhythm of rotation, like you said. But it's a strength still of ours of, I think a lot of guys can still continue to step in.
Another guy or another, I guess, guy that I want to bring up, and he actually plays for the opposite team because he's one of those seniors, too, that's been around a long time, talking about Minnesota Morris. Paul Dack, yep. I know a guy you're going to have to keep an eye on today. 26-10 against Crown the other day. Seems like he's been there forever. I mean, he seems like he's been with Morris forever. But besides Dack, what do you know about this Morris team? You're heading this game here today.
Yeah, I think they're, obviously we've done our preparation, and our staff has done the preparation. Our team's very familiar. I think, excuse me, on air here, that, they're another group that, talk about Paul, I think he's in his 5th year, and you got a number of guys there that have, continued to mature, and I don't mean mature from immature, but just gain more experience in their play. And, Paul in his 5th year, Gus Gunderson, Jason Nelson, he's got another year under his belt, Dom Aguilar that have really, continued to get better. So they're a complete team. I mean, they beat Crown the other night. I think Northwestern had beat them on a last-second shot. I mean, they're playing for 4-2 today too, in the league. And it's an interesting day in the league where I think, if it shakes out, you could have 4 teams at 4-2 and 2 teams at 3-3. We obviously have the opportunity to, separate ourselves again and get into 5-1 and stay on top there. But no, they're a good team. They're a good team. I think they're really steady offensively. They've got a lot of resources to score the ball, and they've been consistent in conference play. So they are will be a. And they beat us here last year, early on. It was in December last year, but, they'll come in here hungry, no doubt about it.
All right, Coach. Well, I'll stop the interview there. I know you've got a lot of game day stuff to get ready here for, so I'll cut it off there and just say good luck. Thanks for joining me again for the interview, and we'll be talking again real soon.
Thank you, Matt, very much, and we'll look forward to talking to you again soon.
That was Yellow Jacket head coach Greg Falkowski. I'll be right back with more Yellow Jacket men's basketball right after this on 91.3 FM KUWS Superior and on Yellow Jacket TV, an affiliate of the UMass Sports Network.
Matt Johnson back here at the Mertz, final segment of our pregame show, sponsored by National Bank of Commerce, where we bring you the starting lineups for the two teams, sponsored by Superior Choice Credit Union. This is how the Yellow Jackets will line up here today against the Cougars. Starting at guard, 6'3", senior from Chatfield, Minnesota. You heard us talk about him in the pregame interview. Reed Johnson, who's now taking over as the leading scorer for the Yellow Jackets this season. The senior averaging 15.4 points per game. He's joined the backcourt by 5'10", senior from Champlin, Minnesota, TJ Moberg. He averages 3.9 points per contest. Starting at forward, 6'7", sophomore from Slinger, Wisconsin, Andrew Beers. He averages 3.1 points per outing. Starting at guard, 6'3", senior from Caledonia, Minnesota, Andrew Cornelius. He averages 9.1 points per game. And rounding out the Yellow Jackets starting five, 6'4", senior from Superior, Wisconsin, Joey Barker. He averages 10.5 points per outing. Meanwhile, the Cougars will line up this way under Paul Grove and company. Starting at guard, 6-foot junior from Sauk Rapids, Minnesota, Gustav Gunderson. He averages 6.5 points per game. Starting at guard, 6'3", senior from Lincoln, Nebraska. You again heard Coach Greg Polkowski and myself talk about him earlier on. Paul Dack, he's the leading scorer for the Cougars, averaging 16.1 points per game. Starting at guard, 6'3", senior from Fergus Falls, Minnesota, Dom Aguilar. He averages 12.7 points per contest. Starting at guard, 6'2", local product by the way, 6'2", sophomore from Poplar, Wisconsin, just up the road, Jace Nelson. He averages 6.7 points per game. And rounding out the starting five for the Cougars, a 6'7" freshman from Sisseton, South Dakota, Carbon Fish. He averages 9.4 points per outing. So those are your starting lineups, sponsored by Superior Choice Credit Union. And with that, we will bring an end to the pregame show, sponsored by the National Bank of Commerce. We'll take one more quick break and then come back with the opening tip of this contest between the Yellow Jackets and the Minnesota Morris Cougars, sponsored by Barker's Island Inn. That's coming up in about 2 or 3 minutes. This is Yellow Jacket men's basketball on 91.3 FM, KUBD West Superior, and on Yellow Jacket TV, an affiliate of the UMass Sports Network. Matt Johnson back here at the Mertz. The national anthem has been played. The two teams are currently being introduced here to the gathering. This is game one, by the way, of a triple header here, both on 91.3 FM KUWS and on Yellow Jacket TV. Men's hockey will be playing the third game of the day, while the women's basketball team will be taking on Morris in game two of our triple header. That'll come up. Tentative starting time there about 4:45 or so. And depending, of course, how quickly this game gets over with in the pregame, about 15 minutes ahead of time. A couple of serious notes between these two before they turn out the lights on me here to introduce the Yellow Jackets. UWS has won 11 of 18 meetings with the Cougars since January 2nd of 2016. The two teams split their meetings last season with each winning on each other's court. In their first matchup last year, the Cougars rallied back from an early deficit to down the Yellow Jackets 65-63. That game was played on January 9th of 2024 at the Mertz in Superior before the Yellow Jackets returned the favor in the second matchup a month later, defeating the Cougars by the final score of 70-59. That game was played on February 9th of 2024. UWS has now taken 9 of the last 10 matchups with the Cougars dating back to January 19th of 2019. So the Yellow Jackets have done well in the series recently. They had a big lead, actually, in that first game last year before the Cougars came all the way back and defeated the Yellow Jackets by 2. Comes a game with yours truly on the call. And now the lights, I anticipate, will come up here in just a moment to get this one underway. And we will have the opening tip of this one, sponsored by Barker's Island Inn, in just a few moments here from the Mertz. Yellow Jackets will be in their home white jerseys with the gold and black trim, going from right to left from my vantage point here, high above the playing surface here at the Mertz, while the Cougars in their traditional traveling maroon jerseys with the gold trim, they'll be going from left to right in this opening half. These two teams, by the way, this is the first meeting of the year between the two. They will meet again in the regular season finale for both teams on Saturday, February 22nd at Jim Gramel's Court in Morris, Minnesota. So, like I said, we got another meeting between these two. Nevertheless, we got 40 minutes of basketball here to play here today. Yellow Jackets' Andrew Beers will jump it up against Carbon Fish here for Minnesota Morris. And the basketball is airborne. The opening tip is controlled by the Yellow Jackets. Again, the opening tip sponsored by Barker's Island Inn. And we are officially underway. Thank you for joining us for game one of our triple header. It'll be a nice, long, busy day here of Yellow Jacket Sports. We'll hope you'll join us for all three contests as the day moves along. In the meantime, the Yellow Jackets now off the cut here as Reed Johnson coming to the rim with the left hand, missing it off the glass. No good. And the rebound for the Cougars, and they're coming into the front court for the first time. This is Gustav Gunderson on the right-hand dribble. Now he'll hand it off outside, Dom Aguilar. Now on the right side is Gunderson again. Here's the aforementioned Carbon Fish. Fish going left side on the wing now. Jace Nelson plays high school basketball at nearby Northwestern High School. In the corner, three-point shot's up, but that one is good. It's Dom Aguilar, the 6'3" senior from Fergus Falls, Minnesota. And knocks down the triple, and Morris scores first. They draw first blood. They lead at 3-0 as the Yellow Jackets into the front court for the second time here on the afternoon. Andrew Beers left wing now out on top. This is TJ Moberg. Cornelius putting it on the deck now, coming into the painted area. Gets cut off, goes up with a half hook with the right hand, rolls out, no good. The rebound snapped out of there, or snared out of there by Carbon Fish. And now it's Aguilar into the front court, going all the way to the rim. He'll kick it into the corner. Now Paul Dack with the three, and that one's good. And it's a quick 6-0 lead here to start here for Minnesota Morris, 2 for 2 from beyond the arc. So the Cougars off to a fast start here as UWS into the front court. Pass comes right side. Now it's Reed Johnson. Now Cornelius, he'll try to answer with a three ball. That one's off the back rim, no good. Rebound fought for underneath, tapped out of play, and it'll go back over to the Cougars. And the Yellow Jackets starting slowly here. Cougars coming in this game. They score quite a few points. They average more than 73 per game, but they give up close to 80 at 78 plus. Jackets scoring right around 71 while giving up about 70 per game. As Aguilar now into the front court. Lost the handle on it. Still can't find it. Now it's on the deck. Now he'll kick it right side. Driving all the way in, going up with the shot. Off the mark, no good. Was Jace Nelson, and it'll be tapped out of play. It'll be Yellow Jacket basketball here. Nearly 2 minutes elapsed here. First half, 6-0 your score. The Cougars with a couple of three-pointers thus far. One from Aguilar, one from Dack. And Dack has yet to find the bottom of the net here, as here's TJ Moberg. Floater in the lane. That one rims out as well. Jackets 0 for 3 to start. Moberg gets his own rebound, gives it now for Reed Johnson. Now he misses a bunny. Jackets now 0 for 4 to start. And then the rebound kicked out to the far side and picked up by Jace Nelson. Now into the front court, lining up another three-point shot. That one's off the back rim. That one was taken by Aguilar, and now we're going to have a foul called here on Joey Barker. Tried to get inside position against Aguilar, who followed up the miss. The foul on Barker is his first team foul on the Jackets, and Aguilar will trigger it in now for Fish. Now Aguilar, Dak, steps inside, skips a pass in the corner now for Jace Nelson. Now it's Aguilar again, coming right side into the corner. Three-point shots up from Nelson. That one's off the front rim. Rebound now tracked down by Moberg. Jackets in transition. Now Reed Johnson coming inside. Goes up off the glass, banks it home, and will draw the foul. That one's going to be called against Aguilar. And UWS on the scoreboard for the first time, courtesy of their leading scorer on the season, Reed Johnson, going right side. Foul on Aguilar is his first. And a three-point play opportunity now for Reed Johnson. And his free throw is good. Jackets half of the deficit to 6-3. Inbound now for Dak. And Paul Dak now will come into the front court. Fifth-year senior from Lincoln, Nebraska. Picks up his dribble. Now Fish. Right side. Gunderson now back on top. Nelson. Now Aguilar, pass down low for Fish. Tried to step through, lost the handle on, stripped away by Joey Barker. And off the turnover, the Jackets now with Cornelius in transition. Swing it now Barker, right side. Now Cornelius, top of the key. Spins, hangs in the air, bounce pass now for Beers. Moberg, Cornelius, trying to go on the baseline, got cut off. Had the ball stripped away, and it'll stay with the Yellow Jackets. Help-side defense provided by Gustav Gunderson, and it'll stay UWS basketball here. Inbounding on the baseline now, it'll be Johnson. Barker, 10 seconds to shoot as they swing it right side. Moberg looking down low. Now for Beers, that one tipped. 4 seconds to shoot, now 3 seconds, 2 seconds. Johnson with a bail-me-out three-point shot, misses everything. And the rebound tracked down far side by Jace Nelson. Nelson for the Cougars, right side now Dak, looking down low. Kicks it left side Aguilar. Aguilar now back for Dak. Dak picking up his dribble, looking down low. Now 10 seconds for the Cougars to shoot as the pass comes out on top. Aguilar again against Barker. Into the corner now, Gunderson, 5 seconds, 3 seconds to shoot. Now outside Dak, he'll get one up just as the shot clock expired. Front rim and out, no good. Good position for the rebound there by Andrew Cornelius, and now a long outlet for UWS's Joey Barker. He went up, tried to lay it in. Got met at the rim by Dak, but it'll be a foul on the senior from Lincoln, Nebraska. And that will send UWS's Joey Barker to the free throw line to shoot two. Second team foul on the Cougars. First on Dak. And the first free throw from Barker is good. 6-4 now your score. Javon Walker going to come off the bench for the Yellow Jackets today. He checks in the game for the first time. Also checking in Ian Fay, the freshman from Pelican Rapids, Minnesota. One more for Barker. 6-4 your score. Now 6-5 as Joey Barker softly drops home the second free throw to make it a one-point contest. Jackets going to pick up full court now. Brian LaRoche also in for the first time as the pass comes in for him. LaRoche into the front court. As comes right side now. Here's Aguilar coming on the baseline. Double team comes. Now back out on top. Jace Nelson. Pass down low for Dak. Now he can't handle it. It's a turnover. It's stripped away now by Moberg. Now Javon Walker in transition for the Yellow Jackets. Walker now coming off the screen. Outside wide open is Barker. He'll tee up the long three-point shot off the back rim. No good. Rebound tracked down by Nelson. Now Jace Nelson into the front court. Kicking it left side, LaRoche. Now Aguilar getting a step on the baseline. Going up with the reverse layup, and he'll get it to go down for two. Dom Aguilar now has 5. And it's an 8-5 lead for the Cougars. Yellow Jackets into the front court with Moberg. Left side now, Javon Walker. Beers will swing it right side on the wing. It's a return pass now from Joey Barker. Beers outside. Long three-point shots airborne now from Javon Walker. Off the back rim. That's no good. Rebound being fought for. Grabbed now out of there by LaRoche. LaRoche for the Cougars in transition. Goes to the right side. Flips up a running one-hander. Rims out. No good. Rebound grab by Barker. And Joey Barker now leads the Yellow Jackets into the front court. Right side now. It's TJ Moberg. Now Beers. Moberg on the right wing. Free throw line extended. He'll pop the jump shot. That one rims out as well. Jackets struggling from the field in this first half. He's only trailing up by 3 as Aguilar into the front court. Nearly had it turned over. Now he will have it turned over. Just bat away from him from behind by Barker. Now Joey Barker in transition. Steps through, goes up, and they're going to call a blocking foul here against LaRoche. As Joey Barker tried to make a move to the 10 with the right hand. And Joey Barker now goes to the free throw line here to shoot 2. 2 for 2 so far. 2 for 3 as that one spins out, no good. Jackets as a team shooting free throws are right at 70%, hitting in the game. Barker himself, 75.5% on the campaign. One more coming now for Joey Barker. And that free throw is airborne and good. And the Yellow Jackets will sub now Evan Bennett. Coming in for his fellow Superior native, Joey Barker here. Now checking back in is going to be Gunderson. He will take out Aguilar here for the Cougars. Jackets going to pick up full court here as Dak inbounds it. In for Gunderson. Gunderson into the front court now, pulls up on the dribble. Goes right side. Rocco Paulson also in for the Yellow Jackets for the first time. Meanwhile, James Hughes also in for Minnesota Morris. Now here's LaRoche, left side. Now bounce pass comes for Fay. 5 seconds to shoot now. Is making a move as LaRoche. Coming inside, tried to go up with the shot, had stripped away by Rocco Paulson. It'll be a turnover. Ty Melchert also in for the Yellow Jackets, and now he's advancing into the front court. Melchert. Johnson, right side now, Javon Walker. Evan Bennett now for the Yellow Jackets. Left side now, it is Rocco Paulson. Back for Reed Johnson. Johnson in the corner. Bennett, head fake, now gets around Gunderson. 5 seconds to shoot. Somebody's going to have to put one up here. Here's Melchert, 3 seconds, 2 seconds to shoot. And Walker will fire from 3, spins out, no good. Offensive rebound for Paulson, and he lays it in and will draw the foul. Rocco Paulson, using that 6'8" frame, got inside of Fay, got the bucket, laid it in with the left hand, and drew the foul. That'll be the 4th foul against Minnesota Morris, the first against Ian Fay. Reed Johnson will check out. Andrew Cornelius comes back in. We're tied up 8 apiece. And Rocco Paulson at the free throw line now for the Yellow Jackets. Free throws long and off the back rim, no good. Rebound is cleared now by Gunderson. And Gunderson now leading the Cougars into the front court. That's on the right side now for Hughes. In the corner now, Dak. Now he'll tee up a 3 and knock that one down. Paul Dak with his second triple. He's got 6 points, 6 of the 11 so far here. Only 2 players have scored here for the Cougars. They still lead it 11-8. Evan Bennett now out on top. They'll swing it right side, Javon Walker. Walker for the Yellow Jackets. Right side now Bennett. 10 seconds to shoot. Evan Bennett now stepping through. Lost the handle on the basketball. Gets it back. Now goes up with the left hand and floats it home for 2. Evan Bennett, soft touch with the left hand to make it 11-10. Gunderson back the other way now for Minnesota Morris. LaRoche now looking down low. Instead, he'll swing it right side. Here's James Hughes. Hughes now popping from the 15-foot line. Off the back rim, no good. Rebound into the hands of Evan Bennett. Melchert for the Yellow Jackets, advancing into the front court. And he dribbled it off of his foot and out of play. Turnover on Ty Melcher. It'll be the Cougars basketball. Aguilar back in there now. Bounce pass comes in for Hughes. And now Hughes into the front court. Back in also is Fish. He'll hand it off now on the curl cut. Aguilar hoisting up another three off the back rim. No good. Rebound. Tracked down by Walker. Jackets in transition. Now here's Melchert. Back for Cornelius. Trying to go inside. Telegraphed the pass a bit, but it'll stay Yellow Jacket basketball as it's batted away by the Cougars. Got away with one there. Did UWS. Walker will inbound now right baseline. 11 minutes, 5 seconds remaining. Opening half. Pass comes in now. Rocco Paulson. Ty Melchert. Left side. Javon Walker now coming down low against Hughes. Trying to back in. Spins to his left hand now. Goes up the shot. Had a block by Fish. Grabs his own rebound. Goes up with the reverse. That's no good. Gets his own rebound a second time. Flips it outside now for Cornelius. 3 seconds to shoot, and now a travel going to be called here on Bennett. One of those attempts from Javon Walker actually drew the rim, so basketball back to the Cougars, who have led all the way here so far. UWS shooting just 21% from the floor here thus far, 3 for 14. Cougars are 4 for 10, and therefore lead it by 1 point. At 11-10. Into the front court now, Hughes. Going in the corner now, here's Aguilar. Fish against Paulson. Putting it on the deck now, Aguilar. Back for Fish. Stepping through, goes up and lays it in for two. Now Melchert for the Yellow Jackets into the front court. Goes right to the rim. Flipped the pass. That one picked off now by LaRoche. LaRoche coming all the way in now, and he'll dribble it back out. Gunderson going left side now. Hughes looking down low. More than halfway through this opening 20 minutes. The Cougars up by 3. Now Gunderson stepping inside. Passes it off now for Fish, and he lays it in. Jackets are down by 5 again. Got it to 1 a couple of times, but the offense has not been there for UWS thus far, and they now trail by 5 again. Melchert into the front court. Left side now, Walker. Rocco Paulson, Javon Walker now. Bennett looking down low. Walker inside now. Paulson steps through and goes up and lays it over the front of the rim for 2. Nice pass from Javon Walker. The assist to Walker, the bucket to Paulson. He's got 4. And now Hughes back for the Cougars, picking up his dribble. Swing it now into the far corner. Fish handing it off now, Gunderson. Now Gunderson going on the baseline, and he'll be called for traveling as he got pinned down on the baseline by Rocco Paulson. Moberg, Johnson, and Barker now will check back in. Meanwhile, Jason Nelson will come back in now for the Cougars. $8:55 remaining until halftime. Halftime programming sponsored by Hovland Incorporated. We'll have our first half summary, a look at the first half stats, and we'll also have a Yellow Jacket sports summary. All that coming up at halftime, a little over 8 minutes from now. Meantime, now Walker on the baseline, kicking it outside. Now Andrew Cornelius shooting for the tie, and he does so, knocking down the triple right wing. Andrew Cornelius, the senior from Caledonia, Minnesota, makes it 15 apiece. There's LaRoche now into the front court. Going left side now, picking up his dribble. Goes right side off the pass. Gunderson looking for Fish. Got a mismatch against Johnson down low. Tried to step through, had slapped away by Walker on the help side defense. And it will stay here with the Cougars as Paul Dack will come back in. In the meantime, Aguilar will inbound right side. They'll have 14 seconds to shoot. Pass comes in for Dack. Now back out on top. Dack now trying to step inside and lost the handle on the basketball, and that's going to be an over and back. As he flipped it into the backcourt, and Jace Nelson tracking back picked it up. It'll be Yellow Jacket basketball now in the front court. Inbound will come from Reed Johnson now on the right side. Javon Walker now for the Yellow Jackets. Out on top, they'll swing it. Barker, head fake now, gets around Fish, goes to the rim, and got hit and stripped of the basketball as he tried to go up, but they're going to call the foul on Carbon Fish. And Barker will go to the free throw line now to shoot 2 more. 3 for 4 from the stripe thus far is Joey Barker. Trying to give UWS the lead for the first time here this afternoon with 7:52 remaining in the half. First free throw is up and good, and the Jackets have their first lead of the contest at 16-15. One more coming now for the Superior native, Joey Barker. Second free throw is also good. Used a lot of rim, but it fell through. Barker has 5 points, all of them coming from the free throw line. UWS up by a pair. Now Fish, Dak outside. He'll lean up another 3-point shot, and he'll knock it down. He's hit 3 threes so far. He has 9 points, lead all scorers, and Morris goes back up by 1. Javon Walker now top of the key. Pass now for Reed Johnson. Pass inside now for Javon Walker. Goes up, tried to lay it in, but he'll draw a foul. And this one's going to be called on Dom Aguilar. That'll be the 7th foul already on the Cougars here. The Jackets have only committed 1 thus far, and that's the second on Aguilar. Walker to the stripe here, looking for his first point, and spins out, no good. Got one more coming here, looking for the tie. Second free throw is good. Javon Walker on the board for the first time. Makes it 18 apiece. UWS picking up full court. Dackel inbound. Now it's Aguilar. Coming toward the timeline. Pass comes right side now for Jace Nelson. And now we're going to have a foul called on Moberg right at midcourt. Moberg's first, second team foul on the Yellow Jackets as the pass comes in for Fish. Pass comes right side now. Gunderson stepping through. And they're going to call another foul here. This one, I think, on Reed Johnson. Yep, it's going to be on Reed Johnson. So after going nearly 13 minutes by committing just 1 foul, the Jackets committed 2 fouls here over the last about 15 seconds. Aguilar now will flip it into the backcourt for Gunderson off the inbounds. Gunderson now. Going left side, trying to hand the ball off, and it'll be knocked away. Near turnover there. Gunderson and Dak got sandwiched between 3 Yellow Jacket defenders and ended up going out off of Javon Walker. So it stays Cougar basketball as the pass comes in to Aguilar. Now down the middle of the lane, nobody came over to help, and he just lays it in. Very easy bucket there for Aguilar. He's got 7 points. Aguilar and Dak so far, 16 of the Cougars 20. And they go back up by 2 at 20-18. Jackets now in the front court. Left side now, head fake. And Fish will slap it away from behind on Joey Barker. It'll stay Yellow Jacket basketball here. They'll have 11 seconds to shoot with 6:31 remaining in the half. Johnson inbounding now. Barker out on top, lining up the 3-point shot. Halfway down, popped out. Javon Walker just can't buy one right now. Rebound off the miss now to the Cougars. They're in the front court, leading at 20-18. Dak now in the corner. Now they swing it in the corner. 3-point shot is up from there. That one's rims out, no good. Rebound for Walker. Javon Walker for the Jackets. Moberg for Cornelius, now right side. Reed Johnson for the Yellow Jackets trying to go down low, and they're going to call an offensive foul there. Gunderson sold that to the official, and he bought it all the way. So the offensive foul on Reed Johnson is his second, 14 foul on the Jackets. Inbound now coming. Aguilar. Bounces it in now for Jace Nelson. Nelson into the front court. Double team comes. Now Fish. Dak goes right at UWS's Johnson and lays it in, and the Cougars back up by 4 again. Jackets have really struggled on offense in this game, shooting just 29.4%. This has been a bugaboo in the past for UWS. And it's rearing its ugly head here tonight as well. As the pass comes inside now, Reed Johnson misses the layup off the backdoor cut. Nice feed from Cornelius, but he'll draw the foul, and that one's going to be on Aguilar, I think, and that'll be 3 on him. Dak, by the way, leading all scores with 11. There's Reed Johnson's first free throw. That spins out. Dak, by the way, 4 out of 5 from the field. And easily the best man on the floor for either team here is Reed Johnson, still sitting on 3 points. Missed the first free throw. And makes the second one. Bennett will come in for him. 5:32 remaining in the half. Jackets have played poorly, but only still trail by 3. In the meantime, the Cougars will inbound here. Dak inbounding it. Is it for Jace Nelson, 22-19. Morris, who's led virtually from the start here. Jackets have had one 1-point lead, or 1 2-point lead, excuse me, but that's been it. It's been all Morris the rest of the time. Dak now on the baseline. Inside now, Faye goes up with the shot. That's off the glass. No good. Rebound for Evan Bennett. TJ Moberg now for the Yellow Jackets into the front court. Javon Walker. In the corner now, Cornelius. Putting it on the deck. Now Moberg. He'll try a 3-point shot. That's off the back rim. No good. Rebound now LaRoche. Dak gets behind everybody. Going into the front court. Goes up. Had his shot blocked by Cornelius. Faye tracking down the loose ball in the corner, and then we're going to have a whistle, and they're going to call a foul on the Jackets here, I think. It's going to be on Bennett. And it'll be an inbound now right side. Gunderson inbounding it. Dak got lost behind everybody and lays it in. He's got 13. Jackets got to figure out how to guard him. Haven't done a very good job of it so far. He's got 13 points here through the first 15 minutes of this half. And it's a 5-point lead again for the Cougars at 24-19. Now here's Joey Barker launching a 3 and knocking one down right wing. Barker's got 8 to lead the Yellow Jackets. Lead down to 2 again. Jace Nelson. Dak on the left side. Now inside, here's Faye. Giving a pass in the corner, and he overshot the intended recipient, that being LaRoche in the right corner. And a turnover gives the basketball back to the Yellow Jackets. Moberg now leads UWS across the timeline as we go under 4 minutes remaining in the opening half. Evan Bennett. Handing off now Cornelius, right side. Joey Barker. Javon Walker. Left side now Moberg. Gets a step, goes all the way to the rim, flipped up a shot and lays it in for 2. A little off balance that time. Good strength by Moberg to get it to go down for his first bucket, and we're tied up 24 apiece. Now Dak blows a tire, but able to pick it up is Gunderson. That was off the top of the key. Now he'll swing it right side. Jace Nelson. Dak out on top. 10 seconds to shoot. Dak now trying to step back. 5 seconds to shoot as it comes for LaRoche. Now he'll line up a long 3. That's wildly off the backboard to the right. No good. Rebound for UWS's Joey Barker. Now Moberg, and they're going to call an offensive foul here on Barker on the screen. UWS just getting in their own way a lot of times here so far in this first half. Second foul on Barker. 3:07 left. Rocco Paulson will come in. He'll replace Barker. Sixth team foul on the Yellow Jackets now. Fish will come back in. He'll take out Fay. And Dak will inbound it now out on top. Jace Nelson now for Minnesota Morris. Shovels it off now for Fish. Back for LaRoche. Now on the right side. Working a weave action. Nelson out on top. Now LaRoche. He'll line up a three-point shot. That one's off the rim. No good. Rebound grabbed by Bennett. Evan Bennett doing a good job on the defensive glass thus far. Now the Jackets trying to retake the lead here. Walker right side. Bennett. Now for Paulson. Rocco Paulson. Javon Walker, 10 seconds to shoot. Back for Paulson inside, and we're going to have a foul on the floor. This one going to be called on Fish. And that'll be 2 for him now, and that'll send Rocco Paulson the line to shoot a 1-and-1 here. 2:22 remaining, half number 1. Tied up 24 apiece. And Rocco Paulson at the line. Deep knee bend, and he swishes home the first free throw. Rocco Paulson now has 5 points. The Jackets up by 1, 25-24. One more coming. Second free throw airborne. Long out the back rim, no good. Rebound tracked down by LaRoche. Now Fish into the front court. Dak now on the wing. Paul Dak for Fish. Got the ball stripped away on a nice defensive play by Cornelius. Turnover on the Cougars. Walker now into the corner. Bennett. He'll tee up the three-point shot, and he'll knock it down. Evan Bennett with the 3. And the Jackets now have their largest lead of the half, 28-24. As Jace Nelson leads Minnesota Morrison to the front court. Going left side now. Out on top now, Gunderson. Dak. Now LaRoche. Nelson with 10 seconds to shoot. Dribbling around. A lot of dribbling here by the Cougars on this possession. Now they kick it back outside. Dak. Head fake. Now he'll fire from 3. That one's off the rim. No good. Rebound grab now by Javon Walker. 1:20 and counting remaining. Half number 1. Walker for the Yellow Jackets. Pops from 18. Straight on. That one spins out. No good. Halfway down. Popped out. Now they're going to call a reach-in foul here on Paulson. That'll be his 7th. Jackets already in the Superior Water, Light, and Power 1-and-1 bonus here. As LaRoche will go to the free throw line here, and he'll shoot a 1-and-1. Cougars as a team shoot free throws just over 70%. Similar to the Jackets in that regard. As LaRoche's first free throw is good. LaRoche has only shot 5 free throws this season. Came in 2 out of 5. And that's his first point there to make it 28-25. Second free throw from LaRoche is also good. And it's a 2-point game, and we will have a timeout here on the court called by head coach Paul Grove. I'll give us a chance to remind you that if you can't get enough of the Yellow Jackets, tune into Eye of the Swarm, the official podcast of Yellow Jacket Athletics. Join John Garver and me throughout the year as we sit down with Yellow Jacket student athletes, coaches, and other guests. Eye of the Swarm is available on Yellow Jacket TV, on UWSYellowJackets.com/podcast, on Spotify, iTunes, or wherever you get your podcasts. Our latest podcast, by the way, was with head coach Emily Carpenter and her star point guard Elise Bessinen. And they'll be playing in game 2 of our triple header here on 91.3 FM and on Yellow Jacket TV. That game against the Cougars on the women's side. Slated to start at 4:45, tentative start time there. And we'll be on with the pregame about 15 minutes ahead of time. In the meantime, we come out of the timeout. Yellow Jackets Into the front court, leading it by a pair. 28-26. Now Paulson getting a pass left baseline, put the ball on the deck, and that's stripped away now by LaRoche. Jong Dak in for the first time. He, by the way, the younger brother of Paul Dak for the Cougars, and he's got it out on top. Well, going left side, picking up his dribble. Right side now, putting it on the deck is Jason Nelson, and that'll be an offensive foul as Evan Bennett beat him to the spot. Turnover gives the basketball back to UWS. Turnovers have been keeping the Jackets in this. 8 turnovers so far, that and the free throw shooting. UWS so far has outscored the Cougars 9-2 from the stripe. And now we have 25 seconds remaining in the half. As going right side as Javon Walker had stripped away, and they're going to say it went off of Walker's foot. So now with the shot clock off, the Cougars will have a chance now to tie up the game with a 2 or take the lead with a 3 as Barker's going to come back in here. Thomas Tiernan also going to come in now for the Cougars for the first time. He'll take out Jong Dak. Barker in with the 2 fouls as the pass comes in now. In the front court now, Gunderson. Gunderson now on the right hand for Paul Dak. 5 seconds remaining in the half. He'll fire from 3. That's off the back rim, no good. Rebound bounding around. Picked up and off the glass for 2. 2 Jackets came together, knocked each other off the play, and it just fell right in the lap. Thomas Tiernan, he lays it in, and that's how the first half ends here. Nice break there for the Cougars. They take full advantage of it, lay it in, and we're tied up as we head into the intermission. Yellow Jackets 28, Minnesota Morris 28. We'll take a quick break and come back with our halftime programming, sponsored by Hovland Incorporated. That's coming up right after this. This is UW Superior men's basketball on 91.3 FM KUWS Superior and on Yellow Jacket TV, an affiliate of the UMass Sports Network. At the Mertz, halftime between the Yellow Jackets and the Minnesota Morris Cougars as we jump into our halftime programming sponsored by Hovland Incorporated. Your score at the break, Yellow Jackets 28, Minnesota Morris 28. As we look at the first half numbers and get into our first half summary, the Cougars led through most of that first half. Scored the first 6 of the opening half on 2 3-point shots, one by Dom Aguilar and one by Paul Dak. And the Jackets were fighting an uphill battle for most of the half after that. They did take a couple of leads to the Yellow Jackets, one at 17-15 before the Cougars came back and ended up taking a 5-point lead at one point later on in the half. The Yellow Jackets relying on their defense for the most part during that stretch to get them back into it. Ended up taking a 28-24 lead in the last couple minutes, but the Cougars got the last 4 points of the opening half, and as a result, we were tied up at 28 apiece. Taking a look at the numbers here after 20 minutes, Yellow Jackets, like I said, never really got going in that first half. Struggled on the offensive end for sure. They were only 8 out of 22 from the field, shooting 36.4%. 3 for 10 from beyond the arc. They did make some hay at the free throw line, and that's the biggest reason why they are only in a tie at this point instead of being down by a few points here at the break. 9 out of 14 shooting from the stripe for the Yellow Jackets, while the Cougars went just 2 for 2. So +7 from the charity stripe for UWS in that first half. Yellow Jackets also out-rebounding the Cougars by the slimmest of margins at 14-13. Jackets had 4 offensive rebounds, while the Cougars had 2 in that first half. And in terms of turnovers, the Yellow Jackets had 8 turnovers with 4 assists. The Cougars had 8 assists against 9 turnovers, so neither team really doing a particularly good job of handling the basketball either in that first half of play. As far as individuals in that opening half, there's no question the best player on the court was Paul Dack. He was the best player for either team in that first half. Dack with 13 points to lead all scores. He was 5 for 9 from the field overall in that half, 3 for 6 from beyond the arc. 13 points for him in 17 minutes of action, so he is playing a heck of a game here, and he, like I said, by far the best player on the court in that opening 20 minutes. 7 points also for Dom Aguilar, although he has 3 fouls. We'll keep an eye on that in the second half. 4 points for Carbon Fish, 2 points each for Thomas Tiernan. Came in off the bench and got the layup to tie the game at the break. And then also 2 points on the board so far here for Brian LaRoche Jr. for the Cougars. Meanwhile, for the Yellow Jackets, a little more balanced. 8 points for Joey Barker so far. He's 1 for 2 only from the field. Did most of his damage from the free throw line, going 5 for 6 from the stripe. 5 points each so far for Evan Bennett and Rocco Paulson. Paulson 2 for 2 from the field. Missed 2 out of 3 from the stripe. Bennett 2 for 2 and has a 3-pointer amongst his 5 points so far. 4 points so far for Reed Johnson. Need to get him going a bit. Just 1 for 4 shooting. He only took 1 3. He did make 2 out of 3 from the stripe in that first half. 2 points, meanwhile, in the game for TJ Moberg. 3 points for Andrew Cornelius and just 1 point so far for Javon Walker. So you have 2 players for the Yellow Jackets averaging a combined 30-plus points per game for the Yellow Jackets that have a combined 5 points at the half. That's Reed Johnson, of course, and Javon Walker. We talked about the foul trouble for the 2 sides in that first half. Plenty of whistles. And the Cougars right now have just 1 player who's in real serious foul trouble, and Dom Aguilar with 3. Carbon Fish has 2, and as far as the Yellow Jackets, they have 2 players with 2 fouls each, one of them being Reed Johnson and the other being Joey Barker here at the break. So that's your story, halfway home in this one between the Yellow Jackets and Minnesota Morris. And with that being the case, we'll take a quick break and come back with more of our halftime programming, sponsored by Hovland Incorporated, including a look at what else is going on with the Yellow Jacket Athletics. All that coming up right after this. This is UWS men's basketball on 91.3 FM KUWS Superior and on Yellow Jacket TV, an affiliate of the UMAC Sports Network. We have about 7 or 8 minutes before we start the second half of this contest between the Yellow Jackets and the Cougars. And with that being the case, we'll give you a quick update on what else is going on with Yellow Jacket Athletics. Our Yellow Jacket sports summary here. Women's basketball, of course, as I mentioned, playing Game 2 of our triple header here on 91.3 FM and Yellow Jacket TV. We'll be taking on the Cougars in Game 2 of our triple header, Sitting at 8-8 overall, now 4-1 in the UMAC. They downed at Northwestern 69-63 on Wednesday night at the Erickson Center in St. Paul. In that contest, the Yellow Jackets rallied from a 6-point deficit after 3 quarters by outscoring the Eagles 31-19 in the fourth quarter to pick up the win. Elise Bessinen led the way for the Yellow Jackets, scoring a game-high 32 points on 13 of 22 shooting, while also grabbing 7 rebounds. The 32 points was a new career high for Bessinen. Meanwhile, Elsa Olsen added 13 points on 5 of 8 shooting. She also grabbed a team-high 8 rebounds in that contest. They'll be taking on the Cougars in Game 2 of our triple header. 4:45, the opening tip there, 4:30. The pregame with yours truly here along these same airwaves. Women's hockey now at 9-8-1 overall, 1-5 in the WIAC. They've lost their last 2, including dropping a 5-2 decision to UW River Falls in their last action a week ago at Westman Arena. In that contest, the Yellow Jackets got goals from Jenna Hoops and Ashton Parnell, while also getting 45 saves from Molly Black in goal. They'll be next in action Saturday, February 1st, taking on UW River Falls at Westman Arena, 2 p.m. The opening face-off, 1:45. The pregame with yours truly. I'll be on the air for that one. That'll be a joint broadcast also on 91.3 FM KUWS and on Yellow Jacket TV. Men's hockey, meanwhile, at 13-3-2 now overall, 6-1-1 in the WIAC. They had their 9-game winning streak snapped last night, although they didn't actually lose the game against UW River Falls. They ended up tying the Falcons 2-2, while the Falcons got the extra point in the shootout. In that contest at Westman Arena last night, the Yellow Jackets got goals from Reed Stark and Justin Dauphiné, while Kobe Grant made 23 saves in goal. They'll be playing Game 3 of our triple header here tonight against the Falcons again, 7 p.m. The opening face-off, that'll be a joint broadcast, which we'll be sending out as soon as we get off the air here with the second game of our triple header on 91.3 FM KUWS and the Yellow Jacket TV. That'll be John Garver, as usual, on the call for that one. Men's and women's indoor track and field. They were participating today at the St. John's Invitational hosted by St. John's at the Donald McNeely Spectrum in Collegeville, Minnesota. Action got underway in Collegeville starting at 11 a.m. today. They're next at home Saturday, February 15th for the annual Midday Classic at Lydia Fearing Fieldhouse across the hall. 11 a.m. the action will get underway there. And last but not least, men's tennis. 1-3 now overall. They fell to Carroll 5-2 last night at the Princeton Club in New Berlin, Wisconsin. In that match, the Yellow Jackets got wins from the duos of Vitor Sakakabara and Igor Gettin Chavez, as well as Mateo Abarca Pino and Brandon Chu in doubles before getting a singles victory from Shran Kanagovi. Their next in action today are the Yellow Jackets against UW Whitewater at the Lake Geneva Tennis. That match, scheduled to start at 12:30 p.m. today. They'll next be at home Sunday, February 16th against St. Olaf. There'll be a 12:30 p.m. opening serve at the Duluth Indoor Sports Center. We're about 3.5 minutes away from the start of the second half of this contest between the Yellow Jackets and the Minnesota Morris Cougars. And with that being the case, we'll take one more quick timeout, bring our halftime programming sponsored by Hovland Incorporated to an end, and then come back with the start of the second 20 minutes between the Yellow Jackets and the Cougars. That's coming up right after this. This is UWS Men's Basketball on 91.3 FM, KUWS Superior, and on Yellow Jacket TV, an affiliate of the UMAC Sports Network. If you're a Yellow Jacket fan looking for great team gear, visit our official Yellow Jacket Sideline store and browse all the current styles of Yellow Jacket apparel and accessories, including the same gear the Yellow Jackets wear. Find the Yellow Jacket Sideline store at uwsyellowjackets.com/shop. Two teams completing their warm-up paces here before we get the second half underway here from the Mertz in Superior. As I mentioned in the first half, these two teams will meet again for the regular season finale. It'll come up on February 22nd at Jim Grimmel's Court down in Morris. And then after that day, we'll find out just who and where the UMAC tournament semifinal round will be played. Those semifinals will be played the following week. In fact, that week, the 26th of February, with the UMAC tournament title game on March 1st this year, a little bit later in the calendar this basketball season. And, of course, that's for the automatic bid to the NCAA tournament as the two teams, Yellow Jackets and the Cougars. Jackets coming into today's game as the two teams, take the floor here. Tied for first place in the conference with Northwestern. Well, there were a couple of teams that were a game back, the Cougars being one of them at 3-2. In the conference race, Bethany Lutheran also at 3-2 heading into today's action. So very tight at the top. It's probably going to stay that way for the balance of the year here. It's pretty wide open in the UMAC this season. As we get the second half underway, it'll be Gustav Gunderson now triggering it in, and the Cougars into the front court. Here's Paul Dack on the right side. Both teams' original starting five in there. Now Gunderson will tee up a three-point shot. That one spins out, no good. Rebound claimed by Reed Johnson. Long outlet pass now for Barker, and now we're going to have a foul called on Dack. As Barker hit the deck hard there, and trying to slap that basketball away was the Cougars' Paul Dack. That'll be his second, and Barker hitting the deck hard here, and it'll be two free throws for the Yellow Jackets here, as look like they hit the right shoulder of Joey Barker. That's been a shoulder that has been injured in the past for the Yellow Jackets senior forward Barker. And so we'll see now what the ultimate result of that foul is. He's still on his back, being tended to by the training staff here at the Mertz. If Barker is unable to shoot the free throws, Coach Greg Polkowski has the option to check in a player to shoot the free throws. We'll see. Barker is, like I said, still on his back here. It was a hard foul. It wasn't anything dirty about it. Dack trying to strip the basketball away, and now Joey Barker is up to his feet here, and he's holding that shoulder. So I don't think he'll shoot the free throws here. That's just going to be my guess. So we'll see who Coach Greg Polkowski alerts to take the free throws here. Looks like it's going to be Andrew Beers would be my guess. It is going to be Andrew Beers that's going to take it, and Javon Walker's going to check in for him. So Walker will come in. Hopefully we'll see Joey Barker back sooner rather than later, but like I said, he fell hard on that right shoulder. And that is his shooting shoulder, so Beers at the line. First free throw from Andrew Beers is good. Beers has got a soft touch for a big man. Didn't score in that first half. Has his first point here with 19:42 remaining in regulation. And his second throw is up and good. So Andrew Beers 2 for 2 from the stripe. Jackets score first in half number 2 and lead it by a pair at 30-28. Now Dom Aguilar bringing the Cougars into the front court. Carvin Fish out on top. Now he'll go right side off the pass. Gunderson now. Dack right side on the corner. Back out on top now. They swing it for Aguilar. Left side looking down low for Fish. Now he spins. Free throw line extended. He'll hand it off. Jace Nelson with 2 seconds to shoot. Goes up with a tough jump shot. Left it short. Good defense by the Jackets there. The rebound grab by Beers. Now it's Javon Walker. Cornelius. Bounce pass now. On the baseline, it's Beers. Javon Walker. Walker now left side. Here's Beers going on the baseline now. Hanging in the air. Nice pass to find Cornelius cutting into the basket, and he lays it in off the window for 2. Cornelius with 5. Jackets score the first 4, and they lead it by 4. Now skip pass. That one hit the backboard. Aguilar on the far side. And actually it hit the shot clock. It looked like it hit the backboard, but he tried to skip it from one corner to the other. You don't see that pass attempt to be made very often. Dead ball turnover, and the Jackets now come back to their direction. TJ Moberg. Out on top, now it's Walker. Reed Johnson as Walker gets bowled over from behind by Fish. And Carvin Fish now goes with the third personal foul for him in the game. Just came from behind and wiped out Walker in the paint. And the Jackets now will inbound right baseline. It'll be Reed Johnson who will do the honors. Flipping it in, now they'll swing it in the corner. Johnson, quick release on the three. That one's off the side of the backboard. Good defense over there by Gunderson to create that miss. And now here's Dack in the other direction. Paul Dack going right down the middle of the lane. Flipped up a shot. Missed the layup off the window. Rebound for Johnson. Walker in transition. Now Cornelius. And now he loses the handle, and they'll go back the other direction. Hasn't been a thing of beauty, that's for sure. As the Cougars now triggered in, here's Dack on the right side. Paul Dack stepping over, had the Euro step move, and it got swept away by Cornelius. It'll go out of play. Morris will inbound it. Aguilar will do the honors. Inbounds it for Fish. Fish now getting a step. Went up and under. Now he kicks it to the outside. Here's the three-point shot up by Gunderson, and it's good. Wide open in the corner was Gustav Gunderson, and that cuts the lead to 32-31. Moberg now in the front court. Cornelius, right side Beers. Javon Walker now against Dack in the corner now. Cornelius trying to answer with the three, overshot everything. Rebound by Fish. Now the Cougars looking to retake the lead. Dack, right side now, Jace Nelson stepping all the way up. Goes up and under, misses the layup with the left hand. Rebound cleared by Beers. Now Cornelius in the corner now. Reed Johnson hanging in the air. That's an ill-advised pass. That one picked off. Paul Dack off the turnover into the front court. Jace Nelson. Now Dack against Cornelius. Coming right side, out on top now. Aguilar spins around Reed Johnson and goes up and flips it off the window for two. 33-32 your score. Walker now, and now we're going to have an offensive foul called against Beers. I said the Jackets been getting in their own way a lot today. Offensive foul on Beers is his first. Just not crisp. Poor decision making. Not focused. Being the best way to describe it. Not this latest turnover. Now here come the Cougars again. Jackets, by the way, almost have as many turnovers as field goals made, excuse me. As Dack now in the corner, and we're going to have a timeout here called now by the Cougars with 16:26 remain to be played. Quick look at the numbers here in the second half. It hasn't been any prettier since the first half. Jackets now 1 for 3, but the turnovers are up to 10 now. In fact, the Jackets now have more turnovers than made field goals. 9 made field goals, 10 turnovers for the Yellow Jackets. And those are the kind of numbers you see when you're playing poorly on offense. Cougars at 43.3%. They also have 10 turnovers. Come out of the timeout. The Cougars 18 seconds to shoot here. Aguilar will inbound now, right baseline. Evan Bennett checks back in now for UWS. Aguilar. Ian Fay also in now for Minnesota Morris. Gunderson out on top, right side now. Now into the corner. Here's Nelson stepping through. He'll kick it back outside. 3-point shot up from Aguilar. Off the front rim, no good. Rebound grabbed out there by Moberg. And now Javon Walker in transition, going right at Nelson. Had his shot knocked away. And it'll stay with the Yellow Jackets here. Walker inbound right baseline. He'll lob it in now. Here's Beers. Moberg out on top. Bennett right side. Bounce pass now. Here is Reed Johnson against Dak. Trying to come down low. Bounce pass now for Beers. Goes up and slams it down with two hands. Nice feed there from Johnson. Cutting was Beers. He got the two-handed slam left side. And the Jackets now back up by one. Now Nelson. Gunderson now. Playing right side now. Dak. Down low now for Fay. Got the mismatch inside against Moberg and laid it in for two. Not sure how that switch happened. Moberg giving up about 8 inches down there. That's not going to work out very often. In the meantime, now Moberg in the front court. Now Walker. Reed Johnson on the baseline now. He'll go up and under on the reverse and lay it in with the left hand. 36-35 Jackets back up by one. Nelson in the front court. Lobbing it down low. Now Fay got inside of Beers, and he'll lay it in. The two teams trading buckets at the moment. Moberg into the front court now. Hands it back off. Left side now Walker out on top. Bennett. And the ball on the deck. Now Javon Walker. Steps inside the arc. Rises up from 18 feet, and he'll knock one down. Javon Walker with the first field goal for him in the game. He's got 3. And the trailing of the baskets continues here. Gunderson now left side. Here's Aguilar. Spinning. Kicks it outside. Gunderson, he'll line up a 3-point shot, and he'll knock it down. A couple of threes for Gunderson. And the Cougars back up by 2. TJ Moberg now. Hang in the air. Out on top now Bennett. Right side Beers. Now Moberg. TJ Moberg had it stripped away from behind by Aguilar. Turnover on the Yellow Jackets. Pass comes right side for Nelson. Now Dak. Pass out on top. Now the pass down low for Fay is picked off by Walker. Turnover. Now Walker going right at Dak. Flipped up a shot off the glass, and he'll get it to go down for 2. And now a timeout going to be called here by UWS. Javon Walker now has 5. And we're tied up at 40 apiece. It's been pretty much nip and tuck, though. You can't say that either team has ever really had complete control of things here at any point. Morris has led by as many as 6. The Yellow Jackets have led by as many as 4. It's been a back-and-forth game here. 28 all at the half, and so far 12 apiece here so far in the second half. If either team can put together a little bit of a burst here, you get the feeling that they could maybe run away with things, but the way the game's being played, I'm not sure that's going to happen here. Jackets have made 5 out of their first 8 here in the second half. They're now up to 43.3% shooting, so starting to play a little bit better here. The Cougars are 5 for their first 10. They're now shooting 47.1% from the field. Taking 16 3-point shots already. The Jackets have taken 12. UWS still outscoring the Cougars by plenty at the free throw line, 11-2 now thus far. From the charity stripe, 13:38 left to play here. And like I said, this has been nip and tuck from the start. Joey Barker's back in there, by the way. So good to see him come back in. Also, Max Briggs is in for the first time, the sophomore from Woodbury, Minnesota, for the Yellow Jackets. Wow, the timeout. Morris will inbound here. Jace Nelson will inbound it. In for Dak. And Jace Nelson now will bring Morris across the timeline. Going left side now, picks up his dribble. Outside LaRoche is open for 3. That's off the back rim, no good. Tip attempt by Fay was short. Rebound off that miss, grabbed by Beers. Now it's Briggs. Max Briggs, Bennett, right side now, Joey Barker. On the baseline now, Javon Walker. Inside now, Beers tried to go up. Left it short, but he'll draw a foul. Also, Leroy Staples Fairbanks in for the first time. 6'4" junior from Cass Lake, Minnesota for Minnesota Morris. The foul going to be called, by the way, on Ian Fay. And Andrew Beers goes to the free throw line here. 4 points for Andrew Beers thus far. His first free throw is short. Off the front rim, no good. One more coming for Beers. Second free throw from Beers is short. And we're going to have a lane violation here called against the Cougars. So Beers will get another shot at it here. There's Brian LaRoche, who was in there a little early. In the meantime, Beers gets another shot at it here. And he makes that one. So Beers now has 5. The lead is 1. Nelson now for the Cougars into the front court. Comes left for LaRoche. Now Dak. Paul Dak now. Lobbed it in the corner. I'm not sure where that pass was trying to go. Yellow Jackets picked it off. It's a turnover, and now they're into the front court. Max Briggs. Left side now Bennett. Now Walker. Javon Walker. Free throw line extended. Goes up for the jump shot. Spins out. No good. Rebound for Staples Fairbanks. Now LaRoche. Pass out on top. LaRoche now spinning down low. Goes up with the shot and left it in for 2 points. Flipped it up over the front of the rim. And the Cougars back up by 1, 42-41. Left side now Bennett. Javon Walker. Briggs. Bennett open. He'll fire from 3-point range. That one's off the rim, no good. Rebound cleared by Paul Dak. Under 12 minutes now remaining. Minnesota Morris up by 1. Now Dak going right to the rim. Had his shot blocked, but they're going to call a foul here. Might be on Walker. And there's going to be a pushing foul on Javon Walker, and that'll send Paul Dak to the free throw line here to shoot a pair. Dak, a really good free throw shooter, 85.5%. Still leading all scores with 13. And right as I say it, he misses it short. One more coming. Johnson going to come back into the game, as is Rocco Paulson. Meanwhile, Carbon Fish back into the game now for the Cougars. Second free throw from Paul Dak is good. He now has 14. The lead is 2. 43-41. Now Walker, top of the key. Barker stepping inside now against Staples Fairbanks. Into the painted area, rises up and softly drops home a short jump shot. He's in the double figures with 10. We're tied up 43. Wide open LaRoche. His 3 is good. Briggs now back the other direction. Briggs now, left side. Cougars by 3. Right side block now, Paulson. Briggs, he'll try to answer with a 3-point shot. That one's off the rim, no good. Rebound Dak. Flips it in now for Staples Fairbanks. Comes all the way down, bounce pass down low, and it'll be knocked out of play off of Rocco Paulson. And another timeout going to be called. Jackets struggling from 3-point range as they typically do. They're now 3 out of 14 from beyond the arc. Cougars, meanwhile, 7 out of 18. In fact, the UWS not really shooting the ball well from anywhere. 41.2% from the field isn't awful, but 12 out of 18 from the stripe isn't particularly efficient. And certainly 3 out of 14 from beyond the arc isn't efficient at all. The Cougars, meanwhile, 48.6%, so they're shooting the ball quite a bit better. 38.9 from three-point range and 3 for 4 from the stripe. Jackets have just happened to get to the free throw line more than the Cougars. That's the biggest reason they're still in this game. Only down by 3. In the meantime, inbounds will come right side now, Aguilar. Now he'll tee up a three-point shot. Long off the back rim. Walker skying for the rebound. Leads UWS back to their direction. Now Briggs. Barker. Now he'll tee up a 3, trying to tie it up. That's way off, wide to the right. And Carvin Fish comes out there with the rebound. LaRoche. Staples Fairbanks. Down low now Dak. Curling inside, goes up with the shot. Gets it to go down for 2, and he'll draw the foul. And the Cougars a free throw away from equaling their largest lead of the game now. It's 48-43. Cornelius is going to come in. He'll take out Barker. That'll be his third. Dak's free throw is good. The Cougars up by 6 now, 49-43. Now Walker. Pass down low, that's knocked away. Tried to force it down low for Paulson, knocked away by Fish. Now in the corner, here's Dak. And we're going to have a blocking foul called on Reed Johnson. That'll be his third. 14 foul on the Yellow Jackets. The Cougars have committed 3 here thus far. 9:59 remain replayed. Fish out on top. Stepping inside now, Dak, and the pass to the corner. Intended for Leroy Staples Fairbanks. Gets knocked away by the Yellow Jackets. It'll stay with the Cougars here. 9:48 left to play. Cougars trying to take their largest lead of the game. They're already up by 6. Paul Dak for 3. There it is. Knocked it down right side. 52-43. 9-point lead now for Morris. The Jackets have just been very lackluster today, and it's coming back to bite them now. Pass coming through the middle now. Here is Javon Walker. His shot blocked away by Fish. Now Dak in transition, going all the way to the rim. Rises up and lays it in, and the Yellow Jackets need a timeout. But they're not going to call one. In the front court now, here is Briggs. Walker. Reed Johnson now, bounce pass, right block now, going up with the shot as Paulson leaves it short off the front rim. It's no good, but the foul going to be called here on the Cougars. And that'll be the 4th foul, by the way, on Fish. So Fay will come back in now for the Cougars. Paulson's first free throw is a line drive off the back rim, no good. Moberg and Bennett will come back in. Walker will check out. Paulson has one more free throw. This one is good, so he goes 1 for 2. 54-44 as we go under 9 minutes remaining in this one. Jackets have got a lot of work to do here, based on the way this game is being played especially. LaRoche going left side now, Gunderson. Fay left side on the block against Paulson. Will kick it right side for Dak. Dak now pops over the top of Andrew Cornelius, and he drops it home, and the lead up to 12 now. 56-44. Reed Johnson now for the Yellow Jackets. Evan Bennett looking down low. Out on top now, Cornelius. Going left side. Stepping through, going with the jump hook. That's no good. Off the back rim. Offensive rebound. Paulson goes up. That's also no good on the follow-up. Third try at, that's also no good from Cornelius. Now Johnson comes through. He can't make it at the basket. And finally, Paulson grabs it, and that's been the story for the Yellow Jackets. Just cannot finish the play. Saw it right there. 4 tries at it, and the Jackets couldn't put it in the hoop. And 3 of those were from point-blank range. In the meantime, the foul, by the way, going to be called on Aguilar, so that's his 4th. As Paulson's first free throw is good. One more coming for Paulson. Off the back rim, no good. Jackets get the offensive rebound. Cornelius, right side now. Moberg. 11-point lead for the Cougars at 56-45. Now Cornelius with the runner. That's off the glass, and that finally goes down for 2. 56-47. As the Cougars into the front court. James Hughes back in now for Morris. LaRoche on the left side. Now Gunderson. Dak open on top. He'll fire from 3. That's off the back rim. No good. Offensive rebound. Grabbed out there by Hughes. Now the Cougars up by 9. They don't have to hurry here. 3-point shots up now from LaRoche. That one spins out. Rebound grabbed by Reed Johnson. And now Moberg into the front court. Steps through, goes up, off the window, and lays it in for 2. 56-49 now. Quickly back to the direction is Dak. Goes into the painted area, rises up, and just softly drops it home for 2 more. And now a timeout will be called here by the Yellow Jackets. Dak, by the way, now has really caught fire here since a slow start to the half. He now has 26 points in the game. 10 out of 16 from the field. Jackets have not been able to match up on him basically throughout the game. And they had a decent start to the second half, but he's gone off again and scored 13 points in no time flat. He now has 26. And the lead back up to 9 again. By the way, have you downloaded Swarm Central, the official rewards and loyalty app of the Yellow Jackets? Get started and receive 200 points just for registering and 200 more for downloading the app. Redeem your points for cool prizes in the Swarm Central store. Find Swarm Central in the Apple and Google stores today. EWS after today, by the way, will hit the road this coming Wednesday to take on Crown. That'll be the 29th. That'll be a 5:30 p.m. opening tip against the Polars, the first time they will have seen Crown this season before they come home a week from this coming Wednesday, taking on Northwestern. That'll be the 5th of February. Jackets will be looking to avenge a loss to the Eagles in their first matchup. 5:30 p.m., the opening tip of that one. 5:15, the pregame with yours truly. And that'll be a joint broadcast on 91.3 FM, KUWS, and on Yellow Jacket TV. As we come out of the timeout. Jackets, by the way, with 3 timeouts left. The Cougars have 4. And it's TJ Moberg into the front court. Evan Bennett now for the Yellow Jackets. Out on top now, TJ Moberg. Moberg coming down low. Now will kick a pass out on top. 10 seconds to shoot. Andrew Cornelius coming off the screen. Now tries to flip a pass for Paulson. Comes underneath, goes up, lays it in, and will draw the foul. I think they're going to get Hughes on that one. Rocco Paulson now has 9 points in the game. The assist on that one to Cornelius, and the foul going to be called on Dak, apparently. So Paul Dak now has 3 personals. 58-51 your score. And Paulson's line drive free throws off the back rim, no good. Rebound cleared out of there now by Fay. Gunderson in the front court. Bounce pass now for Fay coming in right side, and he just goes up over the top of Evan Bennett and lays it in. 6 points for Fay, the lead back up to 9. Andrew Cornelius now. Left side now, Moberg. Rocco Paulson. Moberg passes up on the 3. Goes left side on the baseline. Flipped up a shot. Skims the rim. No good. Rebound grabbed by Paul Dack. Long lead pass now for Hughes. Comes all the way up. Flips up a shot off the glass. No good. And he'll draw a foul on Cornelius. Bit of a bailout call there as Hughes was completely out of control. But they call the foul on Cornelius anyway. And we'll have 2 free throws now coming up for James Hughes. 5:36 left in this one. And now another timeout going to be called here by the Yellow Jackets. That'll leave them with 2 left. Give Morris credit. They've been the far better team here, especially in the second half. They're now up to 52.2% shooting. They're 13 out of 22 from the field in this half. Meanwhile, the Yellow Jackets shooting the ball better, but to 40%, excuse me. But missing a lot of free throws. Missed 9 free throws today. Have the Yellow Jackets. They're 3 out of 15 from beyond the arc. And now Hughes out of the timeout will go to the free throw line here to shoot 2. And the first free throw is long out the back rim, no good. Second free throw is good from Hughes. He's back up to double digits at 10 now for the Cougars. Moberg for the Yellow Jackets. Now Paulson going down low. It spins on Fay and goes up and lays in for 2. Got inside position. He has 11 points. It's 61-53 now. Hughes now coming down. Left side, kicks it back outside. LaRoche in the paint. Down low now, Fish steps through, had his shot partially blocked by Paulson, and then we're going to have a jump ball called. And can't tell from my angle who the possession arrow favors. Apparently the Yellow Jackets, because they're lining up to inbound it here. So Reed Johnson now will inbound it. And here's TJ Moberg. Moberg now against Hughes. Moberg now stepping through against Hughes. Flips up a shot. That's off the rim. No good. Rebound batted out of play. Last touch here by Moberg somehow. I don't know how that official saw that in there. There was about 3 Cougars players reaching for that basketball, and somehow the shortest man in there was the one it went off of. Basketball to the Cougars as they inbound it here. Gunderson now made a couple of big plays for the Cougars in this second half. Hands it off now. Here's Dack. Dack into the corner. Gunderson now. Flips it outside. Out on top now LaRoche. Steps inside the three-point arc. Goes up the shot from about 10 feet right side. Off the back rim, no good. Rebound for Moberg. Outlet pass now. Bennett goes up and under and reverses it home for 2. He has 7. The lead is 6. 4 minutes, 10 seconds remaining as Dack in the front court. Goes left side now, picks up his dribble. Only swinging right side, here's Gunderson. Stepping through. Picked it out on top. 3-point shots up. That one spins out from Aguilar. Rebound for the Yellow Jackets. 3:50 remaining, second half. Reed Johnson, who's had a very, very quiet game offensively for UWS, brings him to the front court. Now Rocco Paulson against Carvin Fish. Tried to give a pass in for Bennett. Off his hands, saved into the arms of Aguilar. Turnover Yellow Jackets, and now Gunderson got behind everybody and lays it in for 2. And now we'll have a timeout called by the Cougars, back up by 8. UWS has had plenty of chances to get themselves back in this game. They just haven't done it. Now, last sequence kind of telling the story. Chance to cut it to 4, throw the basketball away, and then completely lose Gunderson, who gets behind everybody on the other end in transition and lays it in. And like I said, that's sort of been the story here for the Yellow Jackets. First half, shot 36.4%. Second half, 11 out of 23, but again, missed 4 out of 9 free throws here in the second half. "13 turnovers in the game, not a huge amount, but again, it's when the turnovers have been coming that have been killing the Yellow Jackets. They have not been able to finish plays in close at times. And the Cougars, meanwhile, have been very efficient, led by Paul Dack. 10 out of 16 for Dack. And I don't normally give a post-game show player of the game to the other team, but he's been by far the best player on the court today. Still time for the Yellow Jackets to rescue this, but boy, they're running out of chances here. 3:27 left, down by 8. Trailed by as many as 12. Moberg into the front court now, out of the timeout. Javon Walker back in, right side now. Reed Johnson. Andrew Cornelius now. Trying to back down now, Walker. Against Dack, kicking in the corner. Cornelius will try up a three-point shot. That one's off the back rim, no good. Yellow Jackets still taking the goose egg in the second half from three-point range. They're now 0 for 6 from beyond the arc in the second 20 minutes, and they're down by 8 again. Excuse me, the lead remains at 8. Now LaRoche left side. In the corner now, Dack. Stick around. We'll have a brief post-game show sponsored by Synovus Energy as Dack steps through, gets a shot up off the front rim, no good. Rebound grabbed by Walker. Now TJ Moberg down the rim, or down the lane, flips it over the rim for 2. And now here's a steal off the inbounds by Cornelius. Reed Johnson now losing the handle on the basketball. Moberg trying to save it in, and will go out off of Dack. 2:23 now left. Moberg will inbound right side. Reed Johnson fires from 3, off the back rim, no good. Now rebound ripped away by Cornelius, and he'll turn and lay it in. The lead down to 4 all of a sudden. He's got 9. Jackets have gotten a couple of greasy baskets here to come within 4. Now LaRoche, and now he'll call timeout here. 63-59. That'll leave the Cougars with 3 timeouts left. The Jackets still have 2, so we could have a lot of whistles here over these last 2 minutes and 2 seconds. Jackets have committed 5 fouls so far in the second half. The Cougars have committed 6. Two Jackets with 3 fouls each. Reed Johnson has 3. Joey Barker with 3. Interestingly enough, no other Yellow Jacket player has more than 1. Meanwhile, for the Cougars, they have 2 players with 4 each, in Aguilar and Fish. Paul Dack has 3. That's about the only thing he's done wrong today. And 2 so far for Ian Fay. As we come out of the timeout. 2:02 left. Cougars are led for the vast majority of this game. Up by 4 right now with 2:02, like I said, on the clock as the inbounds comes now out of the timeout for Aguilar. Now stolen away on the reach in there by Reed Johnson. Johnson now in transition against LaRoche. Goes up and rolls it in for two. And all of a sudden now it's a 2-point game, 63-61. Buckle it up here from the Mertz. LaRoche now in the front court. Aguilar now cutting down low. Here's Gunderson. Nearly lost the basketball. Now picks it back up. And now they're going to give a bailout foul call against Moberg here, I think, as he tried to go over the top. That'll be his second, 16 foul. Probably a good call, actually. Came over the back. And now the inbounds comes in. Aguilar coming down low. Fish trying to step through, goes up and lays it in. 65-61. The Cougars back up by 2 possessions here. 1:22 and counting remaining. Walker going right at Aguilar. Goes up off the window, draws the foul, and will foul out Dom Aguilar, with 1:13 left. He's got 7. The lead is now down to 2. And Aguilar now is done for the game. 1:13 remaining. So now Walker will go to the free throw line, looking to complete an old-fashioned three-pointer. He has 7. 65-63. And the free throw from Walker is good. 65-64. Cougars have led by as many as 12. It's now down to 1 as we approach the 1-minute mark. LaRoche now. Now LaRoche with the pass inside. Fish trying to spin. Lost the handle on it. They're going to call a reach-in foul, I think, on Cornelius or Walker, one of the two. That'll be his second, and a 1-and-1 now for Carvin Fish here. Actually, they're going to say he was in the act of shooting, so it's 2 free throws for Fish. His first free throw is long off the back rim, no good. One more coming. Freshman from Sisseton, South Dakota. Has 6 points in the game. He's also playing on 4 fouls. And the second free throw is good. 66-64, and yet another timeout here. It's going to become a timeout party here, the last 54.6 seconds. This timeout will leave the Yellow Jackets, I believe, with 1. So we'll see what the Yellow Jackets try to draw up here. Don't need to take a 3, obviously, and that would probably be a good decision considering they're 3 out of 17 from beyond the arc today. And so far here in the second half, taking the goose egg. 0 for 7 from beyond the arc. Jackets being led by Rocco Paulson today. He's got 11 points on 4 for 5 shooting. Good game for him. 3 for 8 from the free throw line, however. 10 points for Barker, although he hasn't scored since taking that blow to his shoulder early in the half. 8 points now for Reed Johnson. Only taken 8 shots in the game. Javon Walker so far, 8 points as well. He's 3 for 11. Andrew Cornelius with 9 points. He's 4 for 9. Jackets have gotten points from 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8 different players, while the Cougars have gotten points from 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8 players as well. So out of the timeout now, Cornelius will inbound it. Here's Moberg. Cornelius will swing it right side now. It's Reed Johnson out on top now. Walker, 20 seconds to shoot, 43 remaining in regulation. Now Barker thought about the 3. Takes a step on the baseline, kicks it back outside. Walker will land the 3-point shot wide to the left. There it is, and there's going to be the foul called on the Yellow Jackets. Again, that 3-point shot. Foul on Cornelius is his second. Now 3 for 18 from beyond the arc for UWS. 18 foul on the Jackets. 1-1 now for LaRoche. Makes both. It's a 2-possession game. And his first free throw was up. Off the back rim. No good, but the rebound grabbed by Fish. And they're going to call a jump ball. And they'll stay with the Cougars. So UWS now is going to have to foul. Gunderson will inbound right side. LaRoche. Not sure what the Jackets are waiting for here. Probably because there's about 10 seconds difference between shot and game clock. My mistake. Left side now, LaRoche coming inside. He'll fade away. Shot no good. Fish gets another rebound. Had stripped away. Now it's Walker. 12 seconds remaining. Walker now back the other direction. Coming all the way inside. Goes up with the shot. Leaves it short. And they're going to call an offensive foul on Javon Walker. As he came down, barreling to the basket, they're going to say that Paul Dack drew the charge, and that sums up the Yellow Jackets game here. 7.5 seconds now left. Walker went all the way inside, missed the layup anyway, but committed the offensive foul, and now a timeout going to be called by the Jackets. This will leave them without a timeout. This is their 6th and final timeout of the game, and like I said, boy, does that encapsulate the Jackets' day. Walker coming down in transition, went right to the rim. Missed the layup anyway, and then got called for the offensive foul, and that, like I said, sums up what has been a difficult day for the Yellow Jackets, to say the least. So 7.5 seconds left. It's going to have to be an immediate foul here by the Yellow Jackets, and then hope for the miss on the free throw. The Jackets, by the way, have committed 9 fouls now, so the next one, the Cougars will be shooting 2 regardless. But if they make 2 free throws off of the inbounds and the Yellow Jackets don't get a steal, that'll essentially put this game away for the Cougars, and the Jackets will drop their second straight on this court to the Cougars over the last 2 years. Jackets break the huddle, by the way, with Johnson, Cornelius, Walker, Moberg, and Barker. Meanwhile, the Cougars come back with Nelson, LaRoche, Gunderson, Paul, and Thomas Tiernan, who we saw at the end of the first half. Nelson will inbound it, gets it in for Dack. That's the right man, by the way, to get the ball to. He shoots them at 85%, and the foul going to be given. And Paul Dack, if he makes 2 free throws, is essentially going to put this game on ice. 6 seconds now left. The foul going to be called on Reed Johnson. That'll be his 4th. Dack's free throw, short, no good. Door still open here. 6 seconds left. And now another timeout here. So they did have one left. I wasn't sure. Thought that was the last timeout. Might have left them without. I'm trying to catch up here a little bit. Look at the scoreboard. So now this is their last timeout. Obviously, we won't be starting the women's game on time. That game was slated to start at 4:45. We'll have about a 25-minute intermission, by the way, between the 2 games. So Dak will have one more free throw here. He's sitting at 26 points. (66-64). Both teams in the bonus, although the Yellow Jackets would be in the 1-and-1s on a foul by the Cougars. So we'll see if Dak makes the free throw. It would be a 3-point game, and then the Cougars would be into that area of debate whether you foul leading by 3 in the last seconds of a game to force the team to make a free throw, then miss intentionally, and then try to tie it off of a missed free throw. Or whether you just let the time run off and you try to defend the 3-point line. Dak's still got to make the free throw, though, for that scenario to happen. In the meantime, here he is. Shoots it up, and he makes it. So it's a 3-point game, 67-64. Walker will inbound. Now Javon Walker in the front court. 3 seconds left. Walker now stepping back. Cornelius for the tie. Goes up for the 3, and he knocks it down! Andrew Cornelius with the triple. As time expires, and we're headed to overtime. 67 apiece. Cougars elected not to foul. And that's what the debate is always about right there. It's an open debate in basketball circles as to whether you foul there up by 3 with the other team in the bonus and make them, like I said, make a free throw, then miss intentionally, and then get the 2-pointer off the offensive rebound. Cougars elected just to play defense, did not foul. And Andrew Cornelius knocked down the 3. So how about that for a change of events? 67 apiece. So the buzzer beating 3 by Cornelius. Jackets will have the momentum now, and we'll see if they can capitalize in overtime. As Cornelius, like I said, launched the 3 just time expired. And now we start the overtime session. Cougars will start overtime with Fish, Dak, Nelson, Gunderson, and LaRoche. The Yellow Jackets, meanwhile, will start overtime with Barker, Johnson, Cornelius, Moberg, and Walker. Barker will jump it here for the Yellow Jackets against Fish, who has 4 fouls, by the way. And that, sorry, I don't mean to laugh, but the toss from the center referee barely got above the heads of the 2 players. They both swung at it, and they spiked it right in the face of the official. So we're going to have to do that again. Hopefully he's all right. He's shaking out the cobwebs right now, but boy. Javon Walker giving him a pat on the back. Looks like he's all right, but holy smokes. Hopefully the toss gets a little higher this time. There you go. And the toss, and the tip, off the toss is controlled by the Cougars, and we're underway here in overtime. LaRoche now will go right side. Dak, who has a game-high 26. Now Gunderson, Dak. Doubled off the inside of his foot. Scooped up now by Nelson. Now he has it poked away. 10 seconds now to shoot. Now Dak steps inside, floater in the lane. That's high off the back rim, no good. Fish, and they're going to call a foul on Walker. That'll be his 4th. And 2 free throws now for Carvin Fish here. .430 remaining in overtime. Fish's first free throw is good. Cougars take the lead, 68-67. Fish's second free throw is also good. Nice soft touch for a big kid. Got 9 points. The lead is 2 now. 69-67. Morris as the Jackets into the front court. Right side now, Walker. Barker out on top. Cornelius will pass up the 3 this time. Goes left side now, Reed Johnson hanging in the air. Outside Javon Walker. Walker stepping through. Goes right to the rim and lays it in for 2 off the window with the right hand. He's got 10. Tied up again, 69 apiece. Paul Dack now stepping through. Hangs up in the air. Goes up with the runner. That one out the front rim. Rebound tapped into the hands now. Javon Walker. Long lead pass. Johnson comes in. Goes up and lays it in. And the Jackets have the lead. 71-69. See if the Jackets can gut this one out despite struggling for most of the game here. Up by 2 right now. 3:40 remaining in overtime. A lot of time in this one. LaRoche goes right side off the pass. Nelson back for LaRoche. Free-throw line extended jump shot. That's off the side rim. No good. Rebound for Moberg. And we're going to have a call for traveling on Moberg as he went down. I'm not sure he ever had the basketball there, but went up with it. I'm not sure he had possession when he came down. Coach Greg Polkowski certainly doesn't like the call. Cougars will inbound now right side. Nelson for Fish. Now Fish. Double team comes, kicks it outside. Now they swing it for Dack. Paul Dack on the baseline. Gets cut off. 5 seconds to shoot now for Gunderson. Steps through. Now he loses the handle on it. Tries to force it in, and it'll stay as it deflects out of play off of the Yellow Jackets' Barker on the baseline. It'll stay with the Cougars. They'll have 1 second to shoot now. It'll have to be a catch and shoot here for Minnesota Morris. And there's a lot of conversation here. And now finally Gunderson will inbound it. Quick pass in for Fish. That's off the mark. No good. Tried to tap it in. Rebound off the miss for Walker. Johnson now in transition. Goes up with the shot. That's no good. No foul called. Rebound off the miss for Dack. Paul Dack in transition. Now he dribbles it off of his own leg. And the turnover will go back over to the Yellow Jackets. UWS up by 2, 71-69, 2:55 now left in overtime. Cornelius, who hit the game-tying 3 as time expired, inbounds now for Moberg. Cornelius, left side now Javon Walker. Barker out on top. Now Reed Johnson. He'll fire up the three-point shot. Well off the mark, no good. Rush that one. Off the backboard. Rebound off the miss now for Dack. Nelson. LaRoche. Stepping through. Pass down low now, getting a shot. Blocked from behind was Fish. Fell right for LaRoche, and he lays it in with the right hand. Tied up again, 71 apiece. Moberg. Cornelius. Johnson. Javon Walker now backing down, and they're going to call an offensive foul on Walker on the baseline. Boy, I don't know about that call. Walker can't believe the call. Yellow Jacket bench can't believe that call either. So we'll see who the Jackets now will check in for him. It's going to be Rocco Paulson. I'd have to take a look at the replay on that one, but that did not look like a particularly good call. In the meantime, Gunderson will inbound now, and the Cougars will try to retake the lead as LaRoche comes into the front court. .150 and counting remaining in overtime. LaRoche. .10 seconds to shoot now. Fish now. Trying to spin, goes up, leaves a shot short. Rebound now for Reed Johnson off the miss. And now UWS can try to retake the lead here. Moberg in the front court. Paulson comes to set the screen. Barker in the corner. And they're going to say now he dribbled it out of play on the baseline. Tried to force something that wasn't there. And now a timeout going to be called by the Yellow Jackets. That will be their one and only here in overtime. Each team is given one in overtime. So far here in overtime, the Jackets are 2 for 2 from the field. Cougars, meanwhile, have missed a couple of shots here in the extra session. Come out of the timeout now, 1:19 left. Javon Walker has fouled out for the Yellow Jackets. Dom Aguilar has fouled out for the Cougars. So both teams now have had a player fall out here. As out of the timeout now, the Yellow Jackets will pick up full court. Gunderson will inbound here for the Cougars. In for LaRoche. Now LaRoche into the front court. Goes right side. Against Reed Johnson. Now Jace Nelson. Picking up his dribble. Back out on top. Gunderson will swing it for Paul Dack. Dack now. Goes left side. Lost his footing, and they're going to call a foul on the Yellow Jackets here, and they're going to send Dack to the free throw line. That'll be the third foul on him. And the first free throw for Dack is good. He now has 28 in the game. It's 72-71. Second free throw, no good. Spins out. Rebound, Rocco Paulson. We're under a minute remaining in the first overtime. Jackets down by 1, 72-71. Out on top now, Cornelius. Backdoor cut. Forced the pass, and it's picked off by Carvin Fish. Telegraphed it all the way, picked off by the Cougars. And now there's about a 12 or 13 difference between shot and game clock here. Dack now going left side, picking up the dribble. Now has it stripped away, and then Johnson throws it right back into Dack. Boy, in a lot of ways, this has been a comedy of errors. And the errors continue here. It'll still be Cougars basketball. They'll have 11 seconds to shoot, 23.7 seconds remaining. Again, the postgame show, a brief one coming up, sponsored by Synovus Energy whenever it is we get finished here. But, boy, the way this game is going, I'm not betting on anything at this point. In the meantime, in between games, by the way, we'll have a Promethean sports interview with Colleen Claude. That'll take us into our pregame show for the women's game. Colleen Claude, who plays for the women's basketball team, 3-sport athlete. So stick around for that. She's the only three-sport athlete that I can remember in UWS history. So, like I said, stick around for that once we go final here. In the meantime, the Cougars will have one timeout remaining. The Yellow Jackets are out of timeouts. 23.7 remaining in overtime. Restating the situation here, 72-71. The Jackets have committed 10 fouls. The Cougars have committed 7. Possession arrow in favor of the Yellow Jackets here. Gunderson will inbound. And now they're going to actually turn off the shot clock. So 23.7 seconds left. That also changes the equation. The pass comes in now for Dak. Pass to the far side. Jackets going to have to foul here. And there it is, finally given now by Barker. For Joey Barker, that's his 4th. And 2 free throws now coming up for Gunderson with 16.8 left. And his first free throw is good. (73-71). And the second free throw is also good. And now why don't we call just another timeout here? 74-71. Gunderson has 10 points, all of them coming since halftime. And you'd have to think now the Cougars, after what happened at the end of regulation, are probably going to try to foul here, would be my guess. Neither team has a timeout left. So Jackets need another 3 here. 16.8 seconds left. (74-71). Cornelius was the hero at the end of regulation. Evan Bennett has checked in for the Jackets. Reed Johnson, Rocco Paulson, TJ Moberg, and also Andrew Cornelius in there. Meanwhile, it's Dak LaRoche, Nelson, Fish, and Gunderson for the Cougars. As the pass comes in now, here's TJ Moberg into the front court. Going right side now, picking up his dribble. Reed Johnson, he tries to shoot the 3. It's knocked away by Gunderson. Rebound grab now by Fish, and that'll just about do it here. Fish can knock down one of these free throws, and the Cougars on the verge of defeating the Yellow Jackets, who, like I said, spent most of the game trying to get out of their own way and just couldn't do so. And the Jackets on the verge now of falling to 7-10 overall. They'll be, as Fish's first free throw is good, and that'll about do it. 75-71 your score. Jackets couldn't take advantage of the momentum at the end of regulation. And they're going to fall, like I said, to 7-10 here. As the pass comes in, Moberg now in the front court. He'll hang, he'll fire from three-point range off the back rim. No good. Rebound batted out, and that'll do it. Final score here, as we'll jump into our postgame show right after the break. Your score in overtime, the Cougars defeat the Yellow Jackets. Your final score is 76-71. We'll take a quick break and come back with a brief postgame recap. Sponsored by Synovus Energy. Right after this, this is UWS Men's Basketball on 91.3 FM, KUWS Superior, and on Yellow Jacket TV, an affiliate of the UMAC Sports Network. Matt Johnson back here in the Mertz, where game one of our triple header is in the books, and it did not go the Yellow Jackets' way, to say the least here. They did manage to force the Cougars into overtime, but UWS, like I said, just spent a lot of the game trying to get out of their own way and just could not find a way to get over the hump as they end up falling in overtime, 76-71. Yellow Jackets and the Cougars. Yellow Jackets were outplayed for most of this game by Minnesota Morris, and the Cougars certainly deserving winners in this one in the final assessment. Jackets for the game, shooting 44.1%, while the Cougars were 45.8%, but three-point shooting, again, coming back to bite the Yellow Jackets ultimately in this one. 4 out of 22, 18.2% shooting. They also missed 9 free throws at 62.5%. Cougars, meanwhile, 45.8%, as I mentioned, from the field. They were 8 out of 23 from beyond the arc and 14 out of 20 from the free throw line. Jackets plus 4 in rebounding at 35-31. But again, 18 turnovers for the Yellow Jackets in the game. Way too many. The Cougars with 16. Jackets had 11 assists, while the Cougars had 16 assists in the contest. But like I said, Minnesota Morris, for the second straight year, comes into Mertz Memorial Gymnasium and defeats the Yellow Jackets. First half, the Yellow Jackets got down 6-0 from the start and never really got untracked at any real point in the game. Managed to tie the game at 28 at the half. Actually took a 28-24 lead at halftime. But then the second half, the Cougars came out, played very well for about the first 15 minutes, led by as many as 12, and then the Yellow Jackets kind of chipped away. Couldn't get the outside shooting going, so they had to rely on some tough defense and also some buckets inside to get back into it. We're still down going into the last few seconds before Andrew Cornelius hits a game-tying three-pointer as the clock expires, setting us into overtime, even up at 67 apiece. The Yellow Jackets actually scored the first bucket of overtime, led 71-69, but from there, the Cougars outscored the Yellow Jackets 9-2 down the stretch. The Yellow Jackets missed a couple of shots, had a couple of untimely turnovers as well during that streak, and it just was not the Yellow Jackets' day. That's probably the best way I can put it, as they lose this game 76-71. Final leaders for the Yellow Jackets in this contest. UWS had 5 players scoring double figures, led by Andrew Cornelius with 12 points. 5 for 10 shooting for Cornelius in the game. 10 points each for Reed Johnson, 10 points for Joey Barker, and also 10 points for Javon Walker. Rocco Paulson had a nice game for the Jackets today, 11 points for the sophomore from Duluth on 4 for 5 shooting. Meanwhile, on the Cougars side of things, they had 3 players scoring double figures, led by the best player on the court today in our postgame show player of the game, Paul Dack. 28 points for Dack. He was 10 out of 18 from the field, 4 for 8 from beyond the arc. The only areas where he really struggled was from the free throw line at 4 out of 7, but like I said, he was by far the best player on the court tonight, and he's our postgame show player of the game. Meanwhile, Carvin Fish with 11 points, 10 points in the game for Gustav Gunderson as well, as the Yellow Jackets fall in this contest, 76-71. With the loss, the Yellow Jackets now down to 7-10 overall, 4-2 in the UMAC, while the Cougars improved to 7-10 overall, and also 4-2 in the UMAC. Up next for the Yellow Jackets this coming Wednesday the 29th, they're at Crown College. That'll be a 5:30 p.m. opening tip from the Wild Athletic Center down in St. Bonifacius, Minnesota. They'll next be at home a week from this coming Wednesday, taking on Northwestern. That'll be our next broadcast of Yellow Jacket men's basketball against Northwestern. Wednesday, February 5th, against the Eagles for the second time this season. 5:30 p.m. the opening tip there, 5:15 the pregame with yours truly. That'll be a joint broadcast, by the way, on 91.3 FM. KUWS and on Yellow Jacket TV. A big thank you to both Wyatt and Gus back in the studio. They were my producers at 91.3 FM. Same thing for Evan Ludwig, who was my producer with Yellow Jacket TV. We hope you enjoyed the broadcast. We hope you'll join us again for more Yellow Jacket basketball on the 5th of February. So for Evan with Yellow Jacket TV and for Wyatt and Gus over at 91.3 FM, this is Matt Johnson. One more time, repeating the final score. Yellow Jackets fall in game 1 of our triple header. Final score in overtime. The Cougars 76, the Yellow Jackets 71. Stick around. The women's game will be coming up in about 20 minutes. This has been Yellow Jacket men's basketball on 91.3 FM KUWS Superior and on Yellow Jacket TV, an affiliate of the UMAC Sports Network.